Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Stronger Everyday podcast with your co-hosts
Nolan
and Caitlin. We're not out of order on that one.
I thought you were gonna take it away. But
it's fine. It's okay.
That's funny.
We got our Starbucks here today. Nolan threw an actual fit today over his Starbucks, but we won't need to go into all that detail today. Seems like he had a bad day at work today, if I'm being honest with you. But whatever. He's a little bit moody today, but that's okay. We're just going to go about our day, and we're here to talk to you guys and record a podcast and catch up and
I kind of want to
have
go
all that fun stuff going on.
Yeah, so the whole Starbucks debacle
It's a debacle now.
was because I got my drink.
Okay.
I sent you a link to a guy who had a drink made.
Oh God, Kelly would be so upset right now. Kelly's my mother. She would be so upset right now.
There's water all over the table.
There's water all over the table because the cups are leaking.
And anyway, I sent her this specific order. It was, I don't even know how to say half these words, but anyway, it was this order, and it was a smaller, I don't know what it's called, but a smaller cup.
A grande.
Grande.
It was a grande.
And
he got but a grande is very small. Like, we get Dunkin' every now and then, and the venti, which is the large of a Starbucks, is the equivalent basically to a medium-sized cup at a Dunkin'. And that's what no one always gets.
Yes.
And the grande is very tiny, which is Starbucks is medium.
Yes, but this order was designed for the smaller size. And so when you put in that order, that's what you're going to get it for that size. So she decided, and I'm trying to be on a lower calorie, like I don't want to spend, 300 calories on a drink. So she decides to put an extra 2 pumps of caramel syrup in it, and that's probably an extra 100 calories. So
how is that an extra 100 calories, Nolan?
It's caramel syrup.
But how is that an extra? But how is that an extra 100 calories when the original drink called for 2 pumps of the caramel, and the drink was only 85 calories, and it had in it a half a thing of cream and 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla, the original order.
So it's probably...
So it was an additional maybe 20 or 30 calories.
50.
Fine. Not that big of a deal. I don't know why you're so butthurt about it.
It's not a big deal. I wasn't trying to get you all fired up about it.
Well, because you would have been fired up about it if it was that size, and you would have been like, I'm already done my drink. Let's be honest here. Let's not lie to the people about this. We already know this. It's a little bit ridiculous. It's just a little bit ridiculous.
You turning it down there?
Just a little bit. Because you're going to me heat it. You're going to me
Mrs. Scream over here.
Oh my God.
Can never take it down. Anyway, what were we talking about in this episode?
Oh my God. I really think this podcast should turn into a
debate one, you said, right?
That's what you want to talk about. Get on here for 30 minutes and just absolutely demolish each other through debates. Well, I would demolish you because, let's be honest, you wouldn't beat me in a debate, but
I don't want to debate right now.
You debate me with everything every day of your life. We took a personality test. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, and the personality test basically gives you a bunch of different types that you are based off if you're an extrovert, introvert, all this stuff, all these other factors that play into it. But they have different categories and different names for each thing. So mine came out to a logistician. So I'm a very logical person. I'm a very fact-based, these are the facts. This is what we're doing. We're not straying. We're not coloring outside of the lines. Okay? I don't color outside of the lines.
Weirdo.
Oh my God. Guess what Nolan's name was for his personality type.
I don't remember, actually.
Oh, no? You don't remember? Debater.
Oh.
A debater. And he claims he doesn't debate. Okay, Nolan is the type of person where he literally will go and be like, I agree with you, when he could have the same opinion as you. Right, okay, the sky's blue. we could say the sky's blue, and this is very exaggerated, but we could say the sky's blue, Nolan,
this is
right?
extremely exaggerated.
Yes, extremely exaggerated, but you could say the sky's blue, Nolan, and you'd be like, yeah, you're right, I agree with you, the sky's blue, but we should listen to those other people who think the sky is purple.
No, that is not good.
People make an argument for the sky being purple, and you never know. Maybe it could be purple.
That's not a good analogy.
Yes, it is.
That was terrible.
Yes, it is.
That was.
Then give me a good analogy. Give me a good analogy for that. Give me a good analogy for what you do. What have we agreed upon that you've agreed with me for, and then you have to see the other side of the story like that, even though he agrees with it directly. And it's not like I'm not seeing the other side of the story or the other side or putting myself into another pair of perspectives or shoes. I am. But at the end of the day, I think my opinion sometimes makes more logical sense. And he agrees with it. He thinks so too.
Yeah.
But then he'll debate and be like, no.
Because I'm also trying to think about that there's not always like one right answer. And there's not, and the answer that's most logical might not always be the best action to take.
I agree, Nolan.
So,
but like,
but
all I'm trying, moral of the story,
overpowering just dominates the conversation.
Oh my God.
It's just freaking ridiculous.
Moral of the story: Nolan is a debater, whether or not he likes to admit it. Okay, and that's just the moral of the story. We always talk about, I don't know if you've ever if you guys have ever gotten into talks where you could see like your family members or friends be like, who would be the prosecutor, who would be the defense attorney, who would be the judge? Nolan would be the judge. He's a judge. He's a mediator on both sides of the spectrum, and sometimes it can be very hard to deal with the judge in real life. Anyways.
Yeah, anyways.
Can it be hard to deal with a prosecutor in real life?
Yeah. Because they always think they're right. And they never admit when they're not. And you're looking at one. And it's not me.
We're really taking shots at me right now, aren't you?
Well, you're over here just...
You're throwing shots.
Like a crazy debater or something when I'm not.
You are.
But
you are.
actually...
There's nothing wrong with it, but you are. Admit that you're a debater.
This is... Debating actually kind of plays into what I want to talk about today, because I want your opinion, and I honestly just want to talk about training for strength versus training for physical appearance, or like aesthetics, as people say. And like, because I feel like I've tried a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we bulked and cut multiple times. And, like, obviously when you're bulking, you're really training for, like, strength to build muscle, like, eat more, fuel your body, and, like, put on size and try to grow. And then on the other side, like, losing weight, cutting, lowering your calories, and, like, training to really make those muscles pop, like, appearance-wise. We've done both that. So I'm curious, like, what your take on it, also as far as like what should people be doing as far as training, if they're training for strength and training for like aesthetics, as people say.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty vastly different on spectrums of like what exactly you should be doing, because obviously it depends on the person, but I think a big difference outside of the gym is going to be that nutrition factor, right? Because not necessarily for strength, you need to be in a, like, surplus, a caloric surplus. Like, that's not necessary. You don't need to do that to build strength.
Well, actually, you should probably be.
No. Ding ding, debater!
But I'm saying...
No, I know. I'm just saying, I know that, but I'm saying you don't need to have the mindset to be like, I need to overeat in a caloric surplus in order to build strength. That's not true.
Yeah, you shouldn't be overeating.
You don't need to overeat to build strength. Overeating can help you get higher with strength loads and power loads and all that stuff, because you have more energy and more weight to be able to push. But at the end of the day, if you're consistently training on a training program, like a 6-week program, and you're at a maintenance level of calories, you don't need to be eating in a caloric surplus. You can do just that and still gain strength. through
Yeah,
that.
but let's get it clear. Totally. That's 100% right. Like, maintain, like, eating at I guess, like, maintenance calories, or, like, what we mean by that is, like, eating the same amount of calories as you theoretically burn throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that, but you're also, like, hitting your protein goal, like, making sure that you're getting enough protein. You will be able to build muscle, but, like, I'm sure that there's studies out there that are probably in the works. I'm not going to get into all that, but in my opinion, like, you're eating in a deficit. There's no way you're doing your body justice if you're trying to train for strength.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Because
it's hard.
Yeah, you have a lack of energy, and, like, I guess training, but I guess that's different, because I'm thinking more of training to build muscle, whereas strength training.
Oh, you were saying to build muscle?
Well, no,
or were you talking about strength just overall, like, being able, how much weight you can put up on, like, a bench press?
I was actually saying that. Like, I was thinking more of building muscle, but if you're thinking more of building strength, and, like, what is building strength, I guess, then? Because, like, I'm thinking of, like, building muscle as
building muscle, yeah, like, you need to make sure that you're fueling your body enough, and sometimes going into a surplus with being able to put on size, like, that way.
Yeah.
Right, to be able to push numbers, to be able to push weight on whatever lift that you want to do. But for strength-wise, no, you don't need to be in a huge caloric surplus, because why would you? Think about that logically. Like, there's no reason to... You can easily get, like, a program, say it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long, and you start somewhere, and then your goal is to end in another place, and, like, that's the beauty of, like, programming, because you are able to adapt and change your volume, adapt and change your intensity levels, all of that stuff, your load levels, all of that stuff goes into it, and, like, how you progress further. Like, I mean, you've seen it with yourself, I've seen it with myself, like, my strength from... We'll go way back, but my strength from freshman year of college till now, being first summer out of college, my strength has increased so much just from training properly. And yes, I've gone through different phases of deficits and surpluses and, like, maintenance and all that stuff, but still at the end of the day, like, I've progressed through, like, all of that.
Yeah, and, like, you've, through, like, weight fluctuation, like, through all that, like, your weight has still, over time increased to, like, almost pretty much as your, like, at your highest right now, pretty much. Yeah. So, like, as long as you're, I guess, training, not on a regimen, but training properly and, like, fueling yourself with the proper nutrients, then, I guess strength, you can build strength, over time.
Yeah, you can. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't if you're doing the workouts and having proper form and, like, progressing yourself correctly, then you're going to build strength over time. Like, that's just how your muscles adapt. Like, your fibers adapt to it.
Yeah,
like, physically, they do. They contract and they adapt to the different changes and stuff.
And what would you say to someone who's not eating enough right now, or, like, consciously knows that they're not getting enough, like, healthy food, and is trying to, like, get stronger? What would you say to that person?
I mean, like, I don't think you can't not get stronger from eating in a deficit. It's just going to take you so much longer, right? Because it's, like, you can, like, progress yourself, like, through weights and everything, but it's going to take you a lot longer to do that, and it's, like, a lot longer. So if you're trying to build strength, like, awesome, just make sure that you're giving your body enough energy in terms of nutrition to help fuel those workouts so that you're able to push, because at the end of the day, like, your muscles are soaking up all that energy. Like, all those carbs are from glucose, and, like, all that's being turned into energy for you to use during those workouts. And the protein that you put in your body, that's restoring your muscles, that's restoring all those fibers, and that's helping them grow, and that's helping them, maintain themselves and, like, develop even further. So
yeah, because eating at, like, not getting enough, you're going to be trying to, like, here I'm saying building muscles again, but, like, you're trying to increase your weight, which means that, like, you need bigger muscles to push that heavier weight, and if you're not eating enough, you're actually probably not giving your body enough fuel to generate like larger muscles. So like you're really hurting yourself by doing that.
I think it kind of like, I almost want to say that I've experienced it firsthand, I think, because back freshman year of college, like sophomore year, when we first got started into lifting, I wasn't eating like I've told you guys this before, like I was eating maybe like 800, 900 calories a day. And then I really got into lifting, right? And like all this stuff. And then as soon as I got myself to be able to eat at like my maintenance level calories, to how much calories I was burning throughout the day to eat throughout the day to maintain my weight, all that stuff, I all of a sudden started seeing my progress in the gym with weights skyrocket. Yeah. Like I remember sitting there like on bench press and like I was kept adding weight because I finally got my body to the point where it's like, okay, we can start using this energy now that we're getting and putting it in the right places. We no longer have to conserve the energy, because that's what'll happen. That's what happens with your body when you don't fuel it enough, right? It's like it holds on to that energy, those sources of food and those nutrients, to be like, okay, if you are in a do or die situation and like don't have food for however long, like your body will be able to help you have that stored energy to use for those situations. So that's kind of what it does when you're in a caloric deficit, because it's like we're not putting that energy to outside sources. Like it's just solely like internal that way. So that's why, like, it's important to make sure that you're eating enough with that.
Yeah, and, like, obviously, when you're eating, your body stores fats and carbohydrates in your body. So, like, obviously, getting enough of those, like, pre-workout is ideal, just because your body breaks that down, stores fats and carbohydrates, and then uses carbohydrates first, and then, you will probably not run out of carbohydrate stores, but your body uses that to generate more ATP. And yeah, I mean, I think that is definitely vital for building strength.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally so, like, it really is true. Food is fuel.
Yeah.
Like, it is, at the end of the day, like, your fuel to, like, do that. And if you're not doing that, if you're not being consistent with that, then it's going to take you a while, or maybe not even at all, to see the results that you are hoping to see or wanting to see in the future with that.
And then like on the other side of that, as far as people who are trying to
like
lose weight,
yes,
and like say they've spent time working hard, building strength, building muscle, and they're trying to show that off. I mean, what would you say as far as like working out you need to prioritize? And how should you, I mean, I can kind of answer that after you answer that, but I guess as far as nutrition, you're going to be probably eating at maintenance or decreasing your calories below your maintenance level calories. But that's obviously paired with, stuff in the gym and like increasing your cardio and stuff like that. But what do you
I think that when you're switching your training up from, I think that when you're focused on like the strength aspect that we were talking about, it's a lot more like, I don't want to say free range, but like to me it feels more free range, because it's like you can dibble and dabble into like different things and be like, push yourself on certain exercises, like where you only do like,
is that a word?
Dibble dabble. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. But like, you know what I mean? Like how our program now that we're on, like we're rebuilding that like foundation and everything, and we're getting all that set. Like we've been toying with, some hypertrophy, and we've been toying with some really strength based. So the reps are a lot lower. Yeah. Like the reps are around like the 4 to 6 range, and then if you want really, really power, like that's rep 1 to 3 range, and like et cetera and so on, and then endurance and hypertrophy. So I think for strength, it's like you can give yourself a break almost on certain things if you want, while still having different things, because you can do like bicep curls and you could do like 12 reps of that. So now you're going into like the endurance phase of that, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I didn't want to cut you off, but I also wanted to mention that, like, obviously, she didn't mention it because we already know that, but, like, obviously with the strength and, like, decreasing the reps, you're increasing the weight while decreasing the reps. Like, it's not meant to, like, be the same weight.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're increasing your load. Anyways, so then when you come to the caveat side of that with, like, the aesthetic training, so people who want to compete in, like, figure competitions, bodybuilding, and stuff like that, it's training's usually a lot different because, I mean, I don't know much about, I know a decent amount, but I don't know, like, the specifics for each type of bodybuilding structure and stuff like that. So I know for one thing, though, that they need to be super, like, toned, right? Yeah. And some require you to be, like, super striated. So you need to see all those, like, feathery muscle fibers and all that stuff. And the way to get there is to participate in a lot of hypertrophy training. Yeah. Very rarely are you going to see or complete a lot of strength and power-based movements and activities and exercises for bodybuilding competitions, like, when you're prepping. And
what do you mean by when you say hypertrophy?
Like, so hypertrophy is, like, anywhere from, like, 6 to 12, maybe even, like, 6 to 12 rep ranges. And it differs for everyone, but usually, like, the average is, like, 6 to 12 repetitions gets to be in that hypertrophy. So basically, hypertrophy is when you're almost exhausting the muscle and it's causing the fibers to really contract and break down on each other, which that's protein, and, like, that's what protein's, like, helpful for. So make sure that you're eating your protein afterwards to, like, rebuild those fibers that just broke down when you're working out. But hypertrophy builds muscle size on you. So, like, it like overloads the muscle fiber so that it can actually grow to be bigger. So that's what bodybuilders do. I mean, some bodybuilders use other aids to help them get more, but
that's the general gist.
But still, they do hypertrophy training because that's the way to grow your muscle. It's hypertrophy. That literally means to, like, get bigger, to grow.
And obviously it's also more about, like, just, like, like, overly exerting your body, like, sweating, getting,
just, like, repetitive.
Also, like, losing water. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, you don't want to lose water, but, like, that's how you're going to be, look more like, I don't know, look more like, I guess, shredded.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Like, they want to be shredded.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think that when you are doing, like, aesthetic stuff, I don't know, like, I like training that way sometimes, but then I'm, like, a really big, like, strength girl. Yeah. Like, I love pushing my body to, like, put up weight. Like, I just feel so empowered, especially as a female. You don't see a lot of women, at least, like, daily in the gym, like, in your everyday average Joe gym. Like, I know there's so many women out there, but your normal crowd that you see in the gym, you don't see a lot of them, like, really pushing themselves, like, super heavy. So I feel like I want to do that for myself and, like, to show others and other women to, like, be able to do the same thing.
I feel like I'm so conflicted because
I know, me too.
Because, like,
I want to be shredded.
Well, because
but it's like, I don't know.
You, like, training that way, like, you almost, like, feel better about yourself when you're looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
And then, but on the other hand, like, when you're training for strength, you're like, I'm freaking lifting this weight. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, well, because then you have your cons to both things.
Yeah.
Because when you're shredded, I'm freaking miserable.
You're tired.
Because I'm exhausted. Yeah. I have no energy. I want to eat food.
You also, like, are really not really supposed to be staying in that state for a long period of time. Like, your body needs fuel and, like, enough to, like, do everything that it's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And so, like, that's definitely not recommended for, like, long term at all.
And then when you are doing, like, the strength side and stuff, you know, you get to yourself to a point where it's like, and then, I mean, for the aesthetic side still, like, you'll be in the gym and you'll be like, oh, I used to get 60s on incline dumbbell press for 7.
Yeah.
And now I'm only getting it for 1, like, or not even any at all. Like, that's so upsetting. So then you start to get down on yourself about that. And then I think for the strength-based side, like, not that you're necessarily gaining weight unless you're doing, like, a building or a bulking
phase. You're putting on size.
Yeah, but it's like sometimes you can feel a little bit like, not as aesthetically pleased with yourself.
Yeah.
But then again, everything you see on social media is fake. It's all posed, it's all lighting, it's all editing. It's literally like they're like, what did you say to me the other day? Like everything on there is like they're posing for what, maybe 1 second for that photo. Yeah, that's 1 second like out of their day.
Yeah.
That they're getting that photo.
Yeah, it's like a snapshot of like, 1 second of how they look, and everyone, if they set up the right lighting and the right stuff, can look really good. So like it's
all about just being confident in yourself.
Honestly, it's all about just confidence in yourself. But I wouldn't even the fact that you're like lifting heavy weight, like that's where you get your confidence from.
Oh yeah, like, that's where I get my confidence from.
And so like there's 100%. Definitely pros and cons on both sides. But
I think if I had to
pick,
I think if I had to pick like I'm still going to like do both, but I think that's the thing that's why we're trying to talk about this, because it's so. The training is almost so, like, completely on the other sides of each other that it's, like, there's really no, like, gray area. But there is a gray area once you, like, get yourself to a point, and I think we're getting ourselves to that point eventually.
I'm actually taking a little bit of a turn as far as training goes, because I actually think, because I actually...
Are we signing you up for summer shredding?
Well, it is news to her actually right now, because I was watching some YouTube in my free time, and I am...
Here we go. What is it?
Well,
Sorry, headphone users.
I honestly have realized that like, yes, I lift all the time. I'm like, I can lift a lot of weight. I feel strong. I feel good about myself, and like I feel like I'm good with that. But like I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm like I don't have a goal right now, and I am going to try and focus on mixing strength with endurance, because I know
you're gonna start running.
I know what you're.
He's gonna start running.
I know what you're.
Never be me.
I know what your face. I know your face.
Could never be me.
I know your face is like that.
No, I think that's awesome.
But like you know how bad I am. Yes, like she knows I can go do 100-pound dumbbells on flat dumbbell press. Like I can do that. But if I get on the treadmill and run for 10 minutes, I'm exhausted. And like I feel like I need that challenge to like refocus myself.
You're very aerobically challenged.
Yeah.
It's very
and I just don't feel good about that, because like the whole reason I got into fitness and nutrition was to be the healthiest person I could be.
Yeah.
And like if I can lift 500 pounds, great. But if I can't last 10 minutes on the bike, what does it matter? Like, am I really...
There's pros and cons to everything.
And
I think both of us are individually very, very anaerobically like gifted, and anaerobically means that you're very much more like into the power, strength. Like that's kind of like how our muscle fibers are like more programmed, and it's different for everyone. And you can train your body to adapt to different things, obviously. Like that's the beauty of training, and that's like the beauty of just living in a fitness and wellness like industry and like that kind of stuff, and like being able to do that and dibble dabble into different things.
I think I'm gonna try to I guess this falls with like, I know you can't really say aesthetics, but I'm gonna try to, I guess it's just endurance. I think I'm gonna set a goal.
I think that's awesome.
I think I'm gonna set a goal that like I'm gonna try to start like, I don't know if I want to start running, but I guess I will. I think I'm gonna try to do that like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
And just try to like work on that, because I love like strength training.
You know what that means?
What?
You know what that means what you're gonna have to do with running if you're gonna start running?
Stretching?
Yeah, baby. That's something Nolan never does. Ever. It's like pulling teeth with him to stretch.
It's gotta have
fine. I love stretching. You want to know what my goal is? That I said, this is not off topic.
You're gonna start running with me?
No. I said that I was like, like I want a fun fact. Like I feel like people have fun facts about themselves, and like I guess I have fun facts, but to me they don't feel like fun facts. I'm sure people can relate to that. But I want to try something new and something different that not a lot of people can say that they can do. So I am on a journey to do a split. So I'm actually going to make that a series. I've been wanting to make it a series on our Instagram and on our TikTok and like YouTube shorts and like all that stuff of like my stretching routines and like my journey to a split, because I think it would be fun, and I don't know, just to add something to my list of accomplishments in my life and successes. But
that would be pretty cool, actually.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But that was just on the topic of stretching, because I actually love stretching. It feels so good. I love it. He hates it, but he hates it because he is so like tight in certain places, like his hips.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh my gosh. You guys should see him on bench when he lays flat on bench. We haven't posted a video of him doing bench in a while, but when he lays flat on like barbell bench press, he's laying flat, right? And like his legs are like coming underneath, and his right hip is back, his right leg's back, but his left side is like this. So he's literally like this. This is right leg, this is left leg. Because his left hip is so tight that it can't come back.
Yeah.
So he's like this on the bench.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just so crazy. But anyways,
it's not good.
I think if I had to choose something, I think at the end of the day, I'm always going to go towards strength.
I'm going to go towards looking my best.
Towards aesthetics?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's just something about, like I was saying earlier, like I really just feel my like top tier, most confident, most successful, empowered self when I do my strength. Like when I'm high in strength. Like if I'm able to push weight, and like I'm pushing weight right now, like I'm about to hit 70s. I could hit 70s right now for one on flat dumbbell press. Because I've been hitting 65s for like 5 or 6. And that's like so exciting for me to be able to do, because it's just something that like, I don't know, like you work really hard for. Oh my gosh, if you can hear my dogs in the background. Riley, are you coming to join? This is Riley, if you can see her. If you want to say hi, this is her. Oh, okay. Okay.
Just crashing the party.
Yeah, just crashing the party. But anyways, so
it's a good place to end.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it here first. Nolan's gonna start running. You're not gonna like, you have to start with like 10, 12 minutes. Like
I'm gonna start with like a mile.
Okay.
That's easy.
Okay.
I can run that in 10 minutes.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
And I'm probably
you gotta take it slow. You don't run. You already have bad knees from lifting, from baseball, from all that stuff.
I'm thinking a marathon.
So you just gotta be careful. A marathon.
I'm thinking I could do a marathon in like the next 6 months.
Huh? Sorry for my dog barking. That's the other one up there. Her name's Cammie. But anyways.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm not doing a marathon anytime soon.
We'll figure it out.
I could train you for a marathon though.
I have a coach.
Yeah.
I have a stretching coach and a
stretching coach.
And a running coach.
Yeah, and I have a client that doesn't like to participate in his routines.
That's why she needs to be a good teacher.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess these dogs are getting feisty, so I don't know what's going on, but I guess that means that they're tired of us talking, so this is a good place to stop. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So thanks per usual for tuning in, for listening. Let us know what you like. If you have any questions about either strength training, aesthetic training, whatever training questions you have, shoot them our way.
Endurance
and we'd be happy.
We might not be able to answer.
No, I know how to answer. We would be happy to help you out and answer all your questions. So let us know if you have any. Thanks for all the love and support. And be on the lookout for an exciting episode next week, an exciting announcement next week. So yeah.
And let us know what you're into too.
Yeah. Let us know what you prefer. So yeah. Thanks for all the love and support, and we'll catch you in the next one next week.
Peace.
Peace.